It's all systems go for the coronation of AmaZulu King Misuzu Earlier this afternoon, a prayer service was held for the king in Durban. President Ramaphosa will tomorrow hand over a certificate that officially recognizes Misuzulu as the new AmaZulu monarch. Nearly 50,000 people are expected to attend the event at the Moses Mabhida Stadium. Our senior reporter Siphamandla Goge attended the prayer service. He joins us now live. Siphamandla, this certainly is an event of a lifetime to attend. Religious leaders have visited the Zulu King, His Majesty King Misuzulu, ahead of a certificate handover tomorrow. Tell us a little bit more about today's proceedings.
Well, the main event of the day was that prayer service that was specially designed for the king. You know, a number of bishops from religious groups were praying for the king, asking for strength, wisdom, and just for him to be able to lead his father's people with dignity, honor, and take the nation of AmaZulu to greater heights. As we speak, Joe Komane will show you behind me. Preparations are underway, final touches. You see the pitch of the Moses Mabhida Stadium being covered. Where you see those white things that are being put on top of the pitch, that covers the pitch so that it does not get damaged tomorrow. Thousands of people would converge and they will gather at the Moses Mabhida Stadium, and most of them, Amabutho, will be seated on top of this pitch that is being covered so that it does not get damaged. When the king is being officially given a certificate of recognition by President Ramaphosa, Amabutho will be able to stand up and salute the king. So when they come in the morning, they will just occupy that pitch part of the field at which is being covered as we speak, to make sure that after this ceremony there are PSL games that would need to continue here. So you don't want to leave the stadium with a damaged pitch. But on the stands there will be thousands of people who will occupy this majestic Moses Mabhida Stadium, a 2010 World Cup stadium, and isn't it very symbolic and iconic in a sense that people who would have attended that prayer service earlier on, including Archbishop Thabo Makgoba, they would have landed at King Shaka International Airport. King Shaka is the founder of the Zulu Nation. But I'm not aware, Sally, if many people are aware that this stadium, Moses Mabhida, has got a royal connection to it. If my memory serves me well, having covered the politics of KwaZulu-Natal, when the concept of this stadium was announced and when it was being built, it was initially named King Senzangakhona. That's a public record. Later on, they had to change that after a process of public consultation. And for political reasons, there are some people within the ANC who said, hang on, we've got a number of facilities across KwaZulu-Natal and Durban that have been named after members of the royal family. There is a King Zwelithini Stadium in Umlazi, Princess Makoko Stadium in Kwamashu. There is a Prince Mshieni Hospital in Umlazi, a King Dinuzulu Hospital. So, but initially when this stadium, the Moses Mabhida, was announced and was started being constructed, the first name, public name that was proposed and that was used by the premier at the time, Sibundebele, was King Senzangakhona. So therefore this stadium somehow has got that royal connection because King Senzangakhona was King Shaka's father. King Shaka is the founder of the Zulu Nation, is the owner of the throne that King Misuzulu Zwelithini will be inheriting, or that he has inherited. So somehow there is a royal connection between this stadium and the royal family, based on the fact that the initial name for this stadium was King Senzangakhona, which was later changed. But earlier today, bishops praying for the king, asking for wisdom, saying they are hoping that he will get strength and that he will be able to take his father's nation to great heights and be able to help in rural development and developing a nation that is plagued by so many socio-economic challenges. Let's take a listen to the king thanking the bishops who prayed for him.
Ubuso engibubona lapha obulokubukhona kusukela eqaleni kunzima kunjalo futhi ubuso obuningi engibubona lapha babukhona bese ubaba esekhona lokho kukodwa nje uNkulunkulu kukhona akukhanyisayo enhlizweni yami emphefumulweni wami ukuthi cha ngawedwa bakhona kade behamba nobaba wakho futhi baphethe ifa lelo lidingayo ukuze ukwazi ukuthi uholele isizwe wenze konke okumele ukwenze ngokomthetho wasemhlabeni nasezulwini.
Siphamandla, Police Minister Bheki Cele has instructed police officers to enforce the law vigorously during tomorrow's handover ceremony. Tell us what he said.
He said it's up to them to make this ceremony, this event, a success. All eyes will be on this ceremony. There are 4 major events taking place in South Africa tomorrow. In Johannesburg, there is a Pride event that is happening. Soweto Derby happening at Soccer City. There is another rugby match that is taking place. And at the Moses Mabhida, you have this handover ceremony of the recognition certificate for AmaZulu King, Misuzulu Gazwelithini. Thousands of people are expected to gather here tomorrow. Police Minister General Bheki Cele saying police need to ensure that no matter what happens, everyone who comes here feels safe and feels protected. Let's take a listen.
There should be no confusion. Tomorrow, there is no coronation of the king. It's handing over of certificate because that has been done. Yours is to make sure that all happens peacefully, as Commissioner or as General Stapane has pronounced and has announced, has put online. What is our job? General Stapane, you left just one point, one portion on the elaboration of the Constitution. You said we must uphold the law. The portion you left that and enforce it. That's the portion you left. We uphold the law and enforce it. Tomorrow, starting from yesterday, today, tomorrow and after, your job is to enforce the law. Anything, anybody that gets out of the way, you must make sure that you put that person back on space so that tomorrow and thereafter, the situation and the event is given the dignity that it deserves.
Siphamandla, you know the ins and outs of not only the Zulu nation, but the royal family. You know their customs, their traditions. You've covered most of the important recent events in the Zulu history. You've been there for all of it. So what are you going to be looking out for, especially during tomorrow's ceremony? What stands out for you as one of the highlights that you're going to watch very keenly?
The king's speech will determine his reign, be it short or long. Whatever he says tomorrow will be what many people will judge him, whether he will be able to fill the big shoes that have been left by his late father, King Goodwill Zwelithini Kabhekuzulu, who was on the throne for 50 years, who revived a number of royal ceremonies that are well known at this time as we speak, including the Reed Dance ceremony that King Zwelithini revived in 1984 together with the late Queen Regent King Misuzulu's mother, Queen Mantombi, and also the ceremony known as the First Fruits, Umkhosi Wokweshwama. All those events were revived by King Goodwill Zwelithini Kabhekuzulu, and his reign was known as that of protecting and fighting for the land under Ingonyama Trust. The king's speech tomorrow on how he plans to take his father's nation forward, how he plans to deal with issues of poverty, issues of rural development. KwaZulu-Natal is vast and rural. Many people know KZN, they think of Durban, Pietermaritzburg, Potchefstroom and Richards Bay, but there are other underdeveloped areas. What is Ingonyama of AmaZulu going to do to uplift the people who are still trapped in poverty with all the resources at his disposal, with all the land and the financial resources that he will be getting, power and influence of asking for partnerships? How is he going to uplift rural students who want bursaries? How is he going to deal with the issue of water provision, working with the provincial and national government, whereby many people still lack access to basic services? His speech tomorrow will determine how his reign will go.
Thank you very much, Siphamandla Goge, coming to us from the Moses Mabhida Stadium.